Throughout my times playing BattleBit, I've seen a lot of people misuse Battletank, or often make terrible blunders that could have been avoided when they are in control of a tank, which prompted me to make this video. I'm King Mawai, and in this video, I'm going to show you how to effectively use the tank, basically giving you a guide on how to survive, how to shoot, and tips on how you can use this tank effectively in this game. The Battletank features 3 seats, one for the driver and main turret gunner, one for the commander seat, and one for the 7M remote turret. In addition to the main turret's 120mm rounds, the tank also has a coaxial machine gun turret mounted beside the main turret, allowing for simultaneous fire for both weapons, hence why the tank's driver's seat is in such high demand. Many people assume it would be a point-and-shoot weapon, but just pointing and shooting is a big understatement for its effectiveness against the enemy. The commander seat is often left unoccupied, but having a tank commander is crucial to maximizing the tank's effectiveness. The commander seat has access to thermal imaging, providing valuable information about the enemy's whereabouts that the gunner does not have.
Shoot a shell right here. Good effect. Nice one.
In the heat of the battle, having a skilled tank commander to dictate shots effectively can make all the difference. Remember, information is just as important in this game as it is in real-life wars. By assembling a capable crew to operate your tank, you'll become a force to be reckoned with on the battlefield. Now let's dive into the art of shooting the tank properly. It's important to note that this technique may vary depending on the shell velocity. The lower the shell velocity, the more drop the tank shell will experience. When using AP shells, you can determine where your shell will land by observing the crossmark on the screen while you zoom in far enough towards the target. Pay attention to the position of the crossmark, particularly the lower right side of the screen when zoomed completely out. If the big crossmark appears in that area, it indicates that you won't be able to hit the target you have your crosshairs on, as it signifies a no-shot situation. However, shooting an AP shell is only half of the battle. While these shells are primarily used to devastate enemy armor, hitting the right spots on an enemy tank is crucial. But first, let's talk about the tank's armor. The front armor is the most armored part of the tank, acting as a half damage multiplier if hit directly. The side armor has no damage multiplier, meaning it takes normal damage. On the other hand, the rear armor of the tank is a double damage multiplier. If the side armor is exposed, even if it's just a small portion, you can still shoot at it, dealing normal damage to the tank. This provides you with a strategical advantage against the enemy. However, the same cannot be said for the rear armor. Even if the tank is angled at an extreme angle, if even an inch of that back armor is exposed, you can still hit it and deal twice the amount of damage. Therefore, it is crucial to aim for every single weak spot on the tank, even if it's difficult to hit. Remember, higher risk often leads to higher reward. In situations where you find yourselves engaged in a war of peeking, practicing fire and maneuver can be an invaluable tactic. This involves firing a shot while moving the tank, making it harder for the enemies to retaliate effectively. Mastering these techniques will greatly enhance your effectiveness as a tank operator. For the high explosive shell, the shell velocity is lower, which means there's a lot more bullet drop to consider, and the crossmark on the screen is no longer a reliable indicator. The high explosive shell is designed more like an artillery, primarily used against infantry in various environments, especially in urban areas. Personally, I prefer to keep my distance and staying stationary for best results with the high explosive shells. To adjust your aim at a distance, you can use the tank's crosshair UI. However, for some people, the vertical lines may not provide enough guidance. Instead, I use reliable physical horizontal lines or objects like the rooftops or HESCO walls as drop shot references. If you shoot too low or high, you can use these reference points to readjust your shots accordingly. Keep in mind that your reference objects may change as you shift your locations, but over time, as you become familiar with the tanks and the map, you'll start memorizing these references and adjust your drop shots more efficiently. In the long run, it's best to rely on the tank's crosshair UI for adjustments. It's crucial to pair yourself with a competent tank commander when searching for enemies. However, if you find yourself alone, you can easily switch to the commander seat to scout for targets, mark them, and then switch back to your gunner seat. Having that flexibility is quite useful, but at the end of the day, having a tank commander is more preferable. Positioning and location of your tank are critical factors for its survival against enemies in any environment. When engaging the enemy, it's important to always keep your front facing them, unless if you're dealing with a two-pronged attack.
Keep your front against the enemy. I don't want heavy damages.
As you remember, the front armor provides protection, with any ordnance hitting it having a half damage multiplier. On the other hand, the back of the tank is its vulnerable part, with a double damage multiplier for any hits it takes. So never expose your tank's back to the enemy, regardless of the angle they shoot from. When engaging enemies, maintain a safe distance of at least 250 meters. If enemies get too close to your desired position, it's time to relocate your tank or make a full retreat. I recommend this distance because engineers can carry tandem rockets, which have an effective scope range of 250 meters and can easily devastate your tank's health. The further you are, the lower the chances of getting hit by a tandem rocket. Ideally, I would position the tank where you can maximize your kills, preferably on the high ground that offers a clear line of sight to the crowded areas, such as southwest of Objective Echo and aiming towards Objective Delta in Sandy Sunset. Many players tend to panic when they get hit, but remember, the only time you should move away is when your tank is getting hit from behind. In most cases, I retreat after the tank takes 2 shots after it starts smoking. I either repair the tank myself or have an engineer assist with repairs. If I'm out of ammo, then it's time to return to base. Urban fighting with a tank is a major consideration, as tanks are often seen as vulnerable targets in urban environments. Tanks were not specifically designed for urban warfare, as we've seen in World War II and in today's conflict in Eastern Europe. However, it doesn't mean you should never venture into urban areas. If you find yourself in an urban environment or location with numerous hiding spots, it's crucial to ensure you have sufficient infantry support before proceeding further. And do exercise extreme caution when navigating urban areas. The key to moving through an urban environment is to move slowly and steadily. If you advance, the infantry will move forward with you. If the infantry is unable to move forward, reverse your tank a little bit while keeping your front pointed towards the enemy. Pushing too far forward without infantry support significantly increases the risk of being targeted by rockets or explosives like C4. Some maps, like Frugus, can be particularly treacherous for tanks, with RPGs coming in from the rooftops and enemies hiding inside buildings, making it vital to have infantry support in such situations. Remember, being surrounded by your comrades will provide you with added protection. Your tank will also serve as cover for infantries as well. It's a collaborative effort. Help them help you. When it comes to target priority, the key is assessing how dangerous the target is to you and your tank's survival. Let's talk about my approach. My first priority and the utmost important priority is aiming at any anti-tank threats, such as infantry carrying RPGs or those within 50 meters of my tank. Infantries can pose a significant danger as they have the potential to carry C4s and even tandem rockets. Taking them out swiftly ensures the safety of my tank. Another priority is dealing with nearby APCs. These armored carriers can serve as a mobile spawn beacon for the enemy's squad. It's crucial to eliminate them, as you never know who might emerge from those vehicles. Additionally, light transport vehicles rigged with explosives should be taken out quickly. They are usually one-shot targets with an AP shell, and if they have passengers, it can earn you valuable points upon their destruction. Next on my priority list are enemy tanks. While they may not pose an immediate threat to my tanks if allied infantry can handle them at close ranges, engaging enemy tanks in close proximity can quickly become a dangerous situation. If an enemy tank is dealing significant damage to friendly infantry, it becomes a priority target that needs to be addressed. Remember, target priorities can shift depending on the battlefield situation and the actions of your teammates. And that wraps for the tank guide. I hope you all find this helpful, and I hope you all will apply these methods. Do leave a like if you do find this video helpful. Subscribe if you do like contents like these, and I wish you all the very best on the battlefield. Stay sharp and stay safe.